Conflict can be defined as a clash between two opposing forces, which drives the plot. In the novel To Kill a Mockingbird, there are two main conflicts presented. One of these conflicts focuses around Boo Radley. In Make 'Em, two siblings and their friends, Scout, Jem, and Dill, are very interested in their mysterious neighbor Boo Radley. They know nothing about him yet. We learn of these characters and their personalities in the exposition, which is the part where we are told about the theme, the characters in the story, and the setting. Boo was rumored to be a 6.5-foot tall monster, whose hands were bloodstained from eating cats and squirrels. It was also said that he had a long jagged scar and rotten teeth. Many thought of him as a monster because one day Boo was in the living room cutting up the Make 'Em Tribune for the scrapbook. When his father passed by him, Boo stabbed his father with the scissors in his leg, pulled it out, wiped the blood on his pants, and resumed cutting the Tribune. One day, while coming home from school, Scout and Jem spot two pieces of gum in the knothole of a tree. Later on, the siblings find two Indian head pennies in the same hole. They continue to find more objects in the same spot, like a packet of gum, a pocket watch, and oddly enough, two figurines of themselves. The three children, fascinated with Boo, would dare each other to touch the house of the alleged ghoul. They would continue to torment Boo throughout the summer. At one point, Jem, Scout, and Dill decided to trespass onto Boo's property. They saw a figure coming towards them, and they decided to run. The only place to run was through the fence. Since the figure was in the dark, they could not quite see his face, and they didn't know whether it was Boo Radley or somebody else. They hear a gunshot, which was revealed to be Boo's father, shooting at them, thinking they were somebody else. The three run off, except for Jem, who gets his pants stuck in the barbed wire fence on his way out. Jem's pants come off of him and he runs away. When he goes back to get his pants, he discovers they are knitted and folded neatly over the fence. In reality, the person who did all these kind things was Boo Radley. But the siblings don't exactly know of Boo's kindness yet, and they face an internal conflict, which is a struggle or conflict inside a character's mind. Scout and Jem are very curious about Boo, but also terrified of him. The characteristics that the citizens of Make 'Em give their neighbors influence how Scout perceives Boo, despite the fact that he's actually caring. This conflict isn't resolved until Scout figures out who Boo really is, which he learns right after the climax. The climax is the point in the story when the conflict or tension reaches its peak. In this plot's climax, a character from the other conflict, Mr. Yule, tries to kill the children. Boo saves the children from the attack by carrying Jem home after he falls unconscious. This is Boo's biggest act of kindness towards the children. Scout finally meets Boo once they're at her house. Scout walks Boo Radley back to his house, this time not being afraid to go with him. Scout sees things from Boo's point of view, which is behind the window of his home. She learns that Boo has been watching her and Jem throughout the years. He never tried to harm them and was falsely thought of as a monster. This ties into the other conflict as Scout learns to see things from Boo's point of view and to avoid prejudice like many had done to Boo Radley. In conclusion, Boo had rumors spread about him, giving the children a false perception of who he really was. Throughout the book, Boo displayed compassion for the children through various acts of kindness, and in the end saved their lives. Scout learns to walk in another person's skin, like with Boo, before judging them.